Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So today, I'm chairing the meeting. Diva will be the secretary, so I'll hand over the tools of good secretaryship to Diva. So let's start with our old business first. So the feedback on the digital marketing job description. I don't think anybody's actually participated, but let's just open it up to double check and see what is the deal with that. As we wait for that to load, let's go ahead and queue to the next. Oh, okay, that's already up there. We can scroll down. Okay, knowledgeable about DM processes. Right. So what we're talking about in this particular chart is what are the. We have the general template just above, and so I kind of think that this is actually pretty good for almost everything. But what is the specific type of competencies and pathway that we want to set for digital marketing? Should we just leave this as an open sort of field up at the top of the Digital Marketing Guild so that if you do feel inspired and it does get more clear for you at some point, it might be hard to ask, it might be hard to see what it is before we've actually walked the path. So I'll make a motion to move this up to the top of our guild paper and just leave it available as something you can write into. The career path becomes more, probably up here. Where is it? Is it going to the best or worst practices? Probably just its own document. If we can just move it from old business up as a separate document under the guild SOAs, then let's just have that available should we need it. Oh yeah. Job description, yeah? Okay. Cool. So I believe most of you are already getting paid for in addition to your main salary, there's a second base for digital marketing. So currently, I don't have a heuristic for how to do any compensation for that. I look generally on what stage of the career path you're on. If you're in projects, you get a bit more. If you're doing processes, you get essentially the basic process base pay for that. Yes, to Diva.
Are you planning to maybe give are you planning to or not planning to give like
the amounts on each one? I think so. I don't know what those should be. Maybe you guys can help me out with that. I'll put numbers up, but part of it is I was just talking to Mark about being a Villa Bening, and we were talking about valuating a villa. There's essentially three ways to value something. There's one is how much benefit to the company is it, right? And then what's the fair market value of it? And then the third way is what was it? How big? Yeah. So there's fair market value and what is the benefit to the company. So I haven't determined what those numbers are yet, but that could be a question to ask. What is the fair market for each thing? What is the value of each stage of competency? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's keep those questions as something that we can always ask. Let's go back up to this. Okay, I think we've already given it a place, so let's remove this from old business. We'll go over to Gani. Gani is collecting photos of hosts from guests and posting it on Insta story. How's that going, Gani?
I'm still not working. I'm still
okay.
not.
Okay, so let me just ask you, do you want to continue doing this or do you want to drop it?
Drop it.
Okay, drop. Very good. Or do you want to focus? Do you want to open up your focus? All right.
Yeah.
So it allows us to focus when we drop projects that don't seem to be working. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and delete that, Mrs. Secretary, and go to the next item. So this is to Cynthia now. She's giving us engagement rates on the Instagram. Where's Cynthia now?
She's on it.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have a bottleneck here. I guess we need to come back to Cynthia to see what the measurements are. And we're at the end of the test, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very important measurement today. We need to see what it is today. Okay, we're aiming for 1.7. What do you guys feel? Is it 1.7?
Because we're not actively like what we did in the first
Does
quarter.
engagement track with activity?
That's why we have this experience, right? We want to see it.
Right. Okay. So, engagement, I think, doesn't necessarily track with activity. Okay, but let's Yeah, let's see what it is, and we know what went into the inputs. Okay, next website, old business. Keyword feedback from Matuma, the new Changu website lead. Bali Airbnb management. That was the same keyword as Vilapara. So there's no need to do link building for these because we already did the first result. And the link building should be on another keyword, maybe Bali property management. Okay, all right, Mrs. Secretary, I think we can go ahead and remove that. I don't necessarily agree that we don't need to do more link building because we can reinforce our first position by reinvestment. It's like if we're already top of Airbnb, doesn't mean we should just let that slide. Especially if that's a growing keyword. If it's a growing keyword, you can be sure that other people are going to be also competing for that. So, okay, all right, good. That's the only other point of discussion on that one. But I think, okay, would you like to keep this, Mrs. Secretary, or
Maybe
as a best practice, or
I believe we covered this last week.
we did? But do you want to have it remembered? Probably the best practices for the key SEO word is Bali Airbnb management. Okay, so I mentioned that we can move this into best practices as SEO keywords to develop Bali Airbnb management. Do I have a second? Okay, it's been seconded. Okay. For something simple like this, no need for a vote. Let's just go ahead and yes. All right, then we have our landing page. Yes, we have our landing page for, and I need to get you contacts for people who are going to sign up for this. So we have a landing page now for the All Asia Airbnb host meetup. There's a sketch of the landing page there. Fantastic, very good. It's in progress. Is it finished? Or?
Finished.
Okay, it's finished. Beautiful. That's amazing. It won't open the strike when we site. Oh, it will open the strike when we site because we're on the. Nice. Saved you.
Yep.
5. Oh, top of. Okay, great. Where'd you get this graphic? That's pretty cool.
Free pick.
Nice. Okay, great. So our vision. Okay, scroll down.
Hello. It's loading.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, and then funny picture of me. Okay, nice. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, great. How many clicks have we had on this so far?
We
Yes,
have
I did.
some sign-ups there, even though we haven't broadcast.
Really? Okay. Well, it's fantastic. It's something that people want, obviously. Okay, let's not get too off track. Let's go back up to the build journal. Take a look at what we're doing there. All right. So this is all done. Great. And DM bills expect high engagement. Okay, I think we can go ahead and delete this now. So it has been created. Thank you very much for finding the time to get shit done. Okay, so as the secretary removes this from the field of vision, let's go on to the next item of business, which is Cynthia wants to make a real hosting blog. Oh wait, new article for the month. Okay, we said we tabled it to September, and I think that also Cynthia thing we tabled until December, right? Or to September. Okay, all projects tabled for September. Alright, let's take a look at our last thing, AI enabled table to September. Okay, let's move over to the track of new business on tools. There's a click-minded SEO tool and checklist. Ah, this just came out. So Tommy just republished this, or he created a new publish. Tommy, our SEO, this guy was the first person to use some really weird language. But this is a good entry, I think, into our library. So basically an SEO checklist. When you do SEO, just make sure that we have covered all these items, right? And you should be set. So this checklist will be a resource for every time you want to make sure that your page has been SEO optimized. Just go down the checklist, make sure everything on it has been set up, and you're good. Right? So that's essentially a workflow for, yes. So I would like to actually then have the secretary move this to the library where we can have this handy dandy resource for anytime we want to optimize something. Maybe like our new page for the All Asia Airbnb.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. New piece of data. So this I brought in. This is fairly interesting. This is from LinkedIn. If we can click on the photo, we'll bring it up to full screen. And this is fascinating, ladies and gentlemen. So this shows, red line shows the desktop engagements, Blue line shows mobile engagements. Do you see what happens on
It's
what?
red,
Did I say
red is mobile.
really?
That's mobile, right? It's
I-
mobile.
Right?
Legend.
Especially, right?
Oh, sorry, I'm smoking crack. Okay, smoking crack. Then I don't know what the fuck is going on then. Okay, all right, so that's very disappointing. All right, let's go up to July 16th. Hey Google, what day was July 16th?
The 16th of July 2019 fell on a Tuesday.
Okay. Oh, okay, then that still makes sense. Great. All right. So what we see is this on a Tuesday when the weekend ends, you have a drop in the mobile engagement and you have a rise in the desktop engagement.
It doesn't happen in the day before.
I don't know. That's what I think it is. Yes. Go ahead. Ah. Oh, right. Good intuition. It didn't happen on any of the. Oh, wait. When was July 9th?
Same day, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Monday. Okay, so on the weekend, mobile and desktop track each other, and then on Sunday, desktop rises above, and then on Tuesday, mobile starts picking up. And I can't figure this. I thought there was some insight out of this, but maybe there is no insight.
Maybe the one that you wanna use on desktop or PC, which
Yeah.
they only have a time on weekend. Usually on daily basis.
See, that's what I was thinking, right? I was thinking like most people at work checking LinkedIn would be checking it on the weekdays, and on the weekends they would be checking it on mobile, right? Yeah. Desktop also means laptop too as well, so it can be from a.
That's right.
I don't know. Okay, so I was hoping to show the opposite, but I guess I don't know what that means anymore. So it seems like on Tuesday, okay, Monday it goes up, Sunday it's even. On Monday, mobile. Yeah, that's actually completely counter to what I would expect. All right, you'd expect actually the opposite, but it's not true. Okay, so we have a piece of data, and I don't know what it means now. All right, so much for that. Okay, if anyone can figure it out by next week, then great. If you can't, then I thought it was desktop visits drop on weekends and mobile goes up, but it's actually the opposite. Mobile visits go up on weekends and desktop drops off. Weird. Okay.
It's my reminder.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, Mrs. Secretary, if you can,
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to move that then over to old business. If anyone can have an insight from that, then please educate me. School me.
Come on.
Oh, shit.
Alright.
Okay. Control it. Or command it.
Oh.
Command it? No? No commanding it?
What?
Yeah.
Command it? Da. Okay, we'll skip it. Yeah, we'll move it. Okay, and then we don't. Okay, Diva, to you, my dear. Yeah, let's hear what you got. Deaf Blind Project.
I've been checking some. I've got this interesting DMs from our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Usually there are a lot of influencers that want to collaborate with us,
Mm-hmm.
but this one I found is actually a deaf blind
Mm.
and also a medical student. So
Mhm.
she submitted a proposal
Mhm.
to our
That's
website.
amazing. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to know deeply,
Alright.
you can go to the Slack for the Internet Influencer channel,
Okay.
and you can see the details. So she doesn't have a lot of followers, but here's what I had in mind to sum up. You can see there's the Instagram.
Okay.
not
Oh, okay.
She's not a typical web influencer, but I
Huh?
have another thing. We can make a branding project with
Okay.
this one.
Yeah.
So in October 10th, upcoming, there's a World Sight Day,
Okay.
and she also got some video. Her project. She have a project with NHS.
Okay.
NHS is national. Alright.
How does she communicate if she's deaf blind?
So
By writing.
right now she's deaf, already
Huh?
deaf, but still partially blind.
Okay.
In her proposal, she said that she will lose her sight fully on like the end of the Yeah, so she created this beautiful story, but she wanted to see the whole world before she cannot see. So seeing the world before sight loss.
God. Okay.
There she is.
Okay.
And she got another project too
Okay.
with NHS. There's a video of the project.
Okay.
When I was 16, I was in hospital for a year and a half.
And also,
I'll tap-
NHS also have a TED talk.
Okay.
We can jump in.
All right.
Everything's there. And what I had in mind for now is if we accept this, we're not having an influencer because she doesn't have followers or stuff or subscribers in pictures. But what I had in mind is we're creating video,
Yeah.
not much visual,
Okay.
just a lot of black. It's like we are on her point of view, and we focus on her other senses. So
Right.
what she feels, what she heard, and it's not. So we want to create a video when you're staying with us. It's not about what you see or hear, but it's what you feel
What you
while
feel.
staying with
Wow,
us.
what a brand idea.
What do you think?
I think that's really interesting.
What do you think?
No, I think that's really good. I think that it captures the essence.
Right? And the
That synthesizes a lot of verticals. Okay.
It's a kind of, I think it's for us. It's like a kind of luxury branding tools because we want to afford it. We want to do this before.
Okay.
It's like it's more. It's not a revenue project. It's not really a revenue project. It's not a revenue producing stuff, but it's more like a
Alignment of our vision.
yeah.
Literally our vision. Okay.
Pun
Yeah.
intended.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty good. I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
I had
Because
this inquiry actually.
you saw this inquiry?
Oh,
Yeah,
she
it's
contacted
GW.
from
Yep.
Airbnb and then she contacted us
Yeah,
through
I give the Instagram.
Instagram.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's my idea.
It's your idea.
I think this has been a good project. We have bandwidth in September, so I think this is good. I think this is unique, and it has something to do with like the essence of hospitality, which is how we make people feel. Okay, what do you need?
I'll contact it. Maybe she just needs a room. That's it.
So you
Okay.
book for Raja Bibi.
And
Okay.
she is writing a book right now,
Okay,
like a kind of autobiography, and she over us if we want this collaboration, she will mention us and also a video too.
when does she need the room? In October? Or
I forgot. It's on GW.
It's on a Slack. Do
Okay.
you have Slack here?
I do, but let's see. I think, I don't know where it is. Oops. Oh, here it is. Need to remove. What? Okay. You're looking for. Sorry. I don't know where it is. You got it? Okay.
Okay.
You can see an inquiry on Slack?
Let me Oh yeah.
Okay, she needs a room stay, and it's
That's it.
Yay.
August 15th.
Satu August. She needs room between 15 or 22nd August.
a week. Okay, that's.
Between.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
She open to interview.
Okay. All right. If we do this, we need a content bandwidth to be able to capture her story too, as well. So, what's the content sort of bandwidth look like right now? Are you guys relatively available, not available, or what's the availability?
My face is going down.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
So are there, because no marketing is not bringing in new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. You have people sitting around now. Okay.
Slowing down means not pinned.
Okay, okay. Because nobody will say if they're completely happy. All right, let's see. Give me a week to consider this,
Okay.
and then I'll come back to you with a. What I need is essentially what is the bandwidth. If we're gonna catch this opportunity, then we need a net, right? So meaning, if we're gonna develop the story, we're gonna release it, then let's get everything ready, and when this person comes, then I think we can capitalize on the moment, right? Okay, I like the idea. I think it's on brand. I think it'll distinguish our message, and it'll be a good learning experience for all of us too as well. Okay. All right.
Jing will come back.
Yeah, I'll come back with a decision by, let's say, the next sync up.
We just do more weeks. We're having to do weeks once in 2 weeks. Singapore.
Yeah. Oh shit.
We need to
Okay.
prepare everything first. Looking for the rooms. Especially it's for La Jolla. She's asking.
Right. I don't know if the jury even has.
Yeah, since
Does there even space in the jury?
it's August. If it's September, I'm pretty confident that we have rooms.
That's a problem too. August is really, really expensive.
But she didn't mention Joya in her proposal.
Yeah, first,
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're asking for a free stay, then take it where we have it. It's the peak of peak too as well.
yes.
So.
Um,
Okay, I need a project champion. Who has the bandwidth to? Okay, so Diva's volunteering. Do you need any video skills? Like this guy.
Yeah, right.
So that means he's gonna stay here until August 15th too as well.
well, of course.
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Apa tips?
On the bagage.
Okay, we have that. Then we just need it. You guys just need to determine from my side what's available. I think I can have something ready for, let's say, before the end of today. Yeah. Okay, just put me on for today. I'll get back by the end of today to see if we can get this organized. Yeah, this just seems like a meaningful influencer, not like a douchebag, like whatever. Like, I'm awesome.
Even the encourage very long.
Yeah. So that's the DM, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just come back with a decision on what property and for how long today. All right. Cool. Let's go over. And you want to publish it on October 10th, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna sit in
Website date,
contact. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Very good. Very good. That's good timing. Okay, so we can put this over to old business now. Let's take a look at the next order of business. This is cool. This is cool. Next order of business is on. Oh right. Yeah, this is funny. So one of our candidates the other day came in, Indra, and he brought this up. So there's this. He kind of reminded me of this. There's this thing called Page Speed Insights, which is actually quite valuable for SEO. So Page Speed Insights tells you how quickly your site is actually loading on people's phones. So we have the worst score possible. We're at 25, and if you open that, you can see why. Page Speed Insights. There's a link that I've attached at the bottom. Page Speed Insights. Close. Okay. Frees up my RAM. Okay, so it's doing a analysis of the bukitVista.com website right now, and it'll show you essentially what things you can fix to speed up your page. So,
Pictures.
yeah, mostly like, oh, how'd you guys know about this? You guys,
I know this
Tool.
first name.
Yes. Okay, so there's blocking scripts, there's pictures, there's all this other stuff that we can use to essentially speed up the site. So these are essentially the problems. Serve image in next gen formats. So apparently we have images that are fat and slow. They're not making, there's unused CSS and something scripted sheets. Forgot. But the main blocker is the images and properly sizing the images and using WebX rather than JPEG, WebP rather than JPEG. JPEG 2000 and JPEG XR. So JPEG was cool before, but now there's new JPEGs. So that's one thing. I think that's pretty easy to fix. Like just our top of whatever photo. If we just reformat them to something that's more modern in terms of compression, then I think that's where the biggest fix is going to be. What is that picture of? Oh, that's our headline picture. Yeah, the background picture. Yeah. So it's 1.6 megs, but if we can shrink it down, then
That's a screenshot.
yeah. So it's already not that great. Anyway, great stuff to
Good
know.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff to know. Oh wait, see if there's a waterfall. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's there's this thing called a waterfall. You can see essentially, maybe to the desktop. Okay. No. A waterfall shows you essentially what is happening at each stage that the website is loading. So it shows you what images are going first. And when you see a waterfall, you can go to the top of the waterfall, and if let's say the first thing on your waterfall is loading the background picture, and it takes like 2 seconds, then that's the most important thing you need to fix to get your website to load faster. You need that first thing load half a second, because essentially it's like one thing has to happen before the next thing happens. So if you actually look for this, look for waterfall page speed insights as a Google search term, and then the same page speed insights. Yeah, it's page speed test. Okay, here you go. Here. It's a different program. So it's web page test there. Great. So if you then open bukitVista.com on that, it'll show you the waterfall for what. Yeah, gangsta like hell. Okay. So you run the test. Okay, so the test will run, and then the results are pretty cool. It'll show you what is blocking. So if you can fix this, you can get higher ranking, and plus it'll be a more. Yeah, it won't take like 10 seconds to load the site on the thing. Okay, I guess as we wait for this to load, let's go back up to the journal. Probably finish in whatever time it takes to finish. Okay, and then over to Diva. All Asia Airbnb host meetup.
Oh yeah. The next plan that I had in mind for our landing page is actually the SEO thing.
Okay.
But before I do that, I want to make sure that we want this as our
Oh.
optimal, like a main keyword. We set like a really best thing.
I guess KW Finder is the best tool for that, but our subscription at KW Finder is expired. So I guess what you can do is this: if you check it out, there should be some sort of how many results on Google. There should be a tally, like if we go up. Okay, there's 2 million results on Airbnb Host Asia. Airbnb Meetup, maybe. Okay. It's not hard if you're already the only thing that says it. Okay, on SEO in this particular case, Diva, I don't know if that's necessarily, because how many people are searching for something that doesn't exist yet? So if there's no Coachella, I guess you would search for a music festival, right? Music Festival California. If there is this, I guess you have to get yourself in the mindset of who would be searching for something like this, and what would they be looking for? Probably Airbnb Event Asia, right? Or Airbnb Event, just like that. That's my best guess for what the keyword result would be.
Oh, okay.
Or Airbnb Meetup, which is what they called it before they stopped having it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good insight.
Right.
Take a look first.
I think Airbnb Meetup would probably be the best keyword for that. Yeah, that's essentially. There's already a culture of that, and it's Airbnb Event.
Oh yeah, that's
Airbnb Event Asia.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's essentially what we want. If we broaden the keywords too broad, like travel event, then we start getting people who are not necessarily good fit. Okay. Great. Okay, now that we're finished with that, maybe we can head back over to the web page test and see what the results were for the waterfall. All right, that's our waterfall. Fantastic. If Diva can open that up. So we're terrible. It took 11 seconds to fucking open. But on this test, we're all good for some reason. So let me just kind of show what's happening. So the load time for the website is 11 seconds, which is, it seems like it's actually very, very long. But if you scroll up a little bit, okay, the first byte time. The first byte time is how long does it take for the page to begin. So this is a indicator of how long you have to wait before you start seeing something. So if you have a terrible first byte time, you just look at like a blank page.
Yep.
But if your first byte time is fast, then you at least start seeing some activity. Keep alive, I'm not sure what that is. Compressed transfer seems okay. Compressed images seems okay. Cache static content is an F. Don't know what that is. Effective use of the CDN, the content distribution network, is good. That means Strikingly is doing a good job of essentially sending the content out and getting it close to our users. If we then look at the waterfall view, the waterfall view shows essentially what's loading first. So the first thing to load is the fonts from Google APIs. So the fonts from Google APIs are the first. Then Google Analytics comes and loads in, which is kind of weird because, okay, why should it load so quickly? Because if you don't load it first, then you won't see anything on your analytics. If you don't load the analytics, then anything that happens after won't be seen by the analytics. Make sense? It's like if you send a sensor in, the sensor has to go at the beginning, not in the middle.
Yeah.
Then everything you see in the middle, you miss the beginning. Okay, and so these are CSS, which are scripts, cascaded style sheets, and then if we go down, then a JavaScript, then some pictures, and then this stuff. So this is good. You see how all these things are loading in parallel? That's actually really good. That means essentially nothing is blocking. What you don't want is anything that's blocking something else. Let's see. We actually don't have that much stuff that's blocking this JavaScript. Blocking means that, okay, blocking looks like this, Diva. So blocking looks like essentially a process doesn't begin until another process ends. These are your blocking lines. You see the green line is your first blocking line. If you go up, your green line is your first block, right? So these processes over here on the green line can't start until something ahead of it is finished. And then the orange line is another blocking line. These processes can't start until this is finished. And then the purple line shows this is the blocking process, right? This process can't start, and if this will ahead of the purple line, it has to start. And the last blocking process is over here. This is the worst blocking process, but most of what I see here, everything's loading in parallel, so that's good. This Facebook shit is kind of blocking. I don't know what that is about, but you can see this entire Facebook. Yeah, so maybe we got rid of that. Then you can move all this stuff up to that part. So this is the very last thing to load, right here, this power counter, power.io. What is power.io? That's our...
Oh, it's the... Oh, shit. It's not removed. It's supposed to be the sticky better stuff.
No,
Power.io,
it's
right?
still there. But that's okay, that's not blocking because it's at the very end, so it doesn't really even matter. Most of the stuff you want to fix you want to get this stuff at the front to finish way sooner, or not even happen. If you can make this stuff not happen, then all the other stuff starts loading.
Oh, does not happen. Looks like
But it looks like these are, but these are photos, so if you get the photos to not happen, then your website just looks empty. So that's the essential breakdown of how a website loads. So each part happens, after that part happens, then the next part happens, and it's essentially a sequence of deliveries. So this delivery happens, and the server sends you a package, and then your browser starts painting the website. The server sends you more packages and more packages, but some packages need to arrive first in order for the other packages to arrive. That's why it's a waterfall. If your waterfall is really, really tight, like if you go and take maybe a look at what's a site that doesn't fuck around? Booking.com, right? Booking.com should have a crazy waterfall. Okay, if you see that's our first view. Okay. Okay, so this is a content resource. You can see essentially what our content breakdown is. 27% of the content is images, 38% is JavaScript, 9% is HTML, the other percentage over here is CSS, cascade style sheets. What takes up most of the bandwidth to load is actually JavaScript.
What is the difference between the request and the bytes?
I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. Bytes, I think, is just the size of Oh, it could be the percentage of requests. So, okay, this is fascinating. So when a computer talks to another computer, so your computer on, let's say the desktop is a client, and then the computer that's sending the images and everything is called the server, right? So the requests here show how many requests are coming in for images, how many requests are coming in for JavaScript. So these requests over here that you saw earlier, these are requests you can see for images, right? So the percentage of, these are image files, image files, image files, image files. So if you take a look at all the image file requests, that is the percentage of requests that are images. So maybe you have, 15 out of the 114 requests are image requests, okay? So that shows
From
what...
the user end.
Yeah, so the user is requesting a website, but what is a website? A website is a collection of cascaded style sheets, JavaScript, images, DOM files, all this other shit. So the percentage of requests coming in for images previously that we saw was whatever, it was 20%, right? The percentage of JavaScript is that. So the number, it's essentially showing you what the number of requests are, the percentage of requests. The bytes shows you how big they are, right? How big the packages are. So the biggest packages that we send are JavaScript. It's almost 2 megs.
It is also the most.
Yeah, here, yeah, bingo, motherfucker. All right, this is it. So there was 114 requests. 43 requests are JavaScript, and 31 are something else, right? Are images. But the bytes, 2.4 megabytes are JavaScript, and 1.2 are images. Okay, so that essentially tells you what is heavy and what is being requested often. So what's heavy is actually JavaScript. We have a lot of JavaScript running, and that, of course, makes the website longer to load. We also have a lot of images too as well. So it's 2 dimensions of seeing what the speed compels of. Okay? Cool, fun, yeah? Yeah, now we know what's up, motherfuckers. All right, if you want to run another test, you can probably take a test at like Booking.com or Airbnb, and they for sure don't fuck around, right? They probably will have a far faster looking. Yeah, you probably need the HTTP too as well. Fun tool, yeah?
Gini.
www.
Ya ya. Kali bos.
Okay, I think it might do it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll wait for that test in the meantime, and we'll go back up to... Okay, that pretty much finishes our discussion then. We went a little bit over time. That would be nice if we can find Cynthia. Oh, there she is. All right. Cynthia, what is the Instagram engagement update?
Oh my god!
Oh my god, is right. You're gonna go find us that. Alright, Cynthia will find the engagement rate, and we'll wait for the... Is this supposed to be half an hour or an hour?
There's a record here. There's a record here. An hour.
Oh, so we're finished early.
Hello.
Okay, so we're finishing early then. Let's see what the webpage test result is for Booking.com. F! That's hilarious. But see, they got their shit together. It's a 5-second load time. It's twice as fast as us on a much bigger site. Yeah. So, okay, let's take a look at their waterfall. So you can see their waterfall. So the first blocking line is the green line, yeah? The first blocking line is probably here. Whatever that fucking thing that takes 2 seconds is essentially what is blocking everything else. So, I don't know what to say. Okay, so, the first thing to load is some Java. This site, yeah, it's the home page in general. But these scripts over here, these things can't load until that's been loaded in. It's usually, I think it's called a domain object file. It's called a DOM. So the first thing that happens when you click on Booking.com is that you send a message to Booking.com server. And their server sends back what is the architect. They send a floor plan, or blueprint of the website. So it's called the DOM. It's the domain object model. And that just sort of says, paint this way, browser. So it gives a structure to your browser and what to create. And then the server then starts sending all the images that fills in each of the... It's kind of like send a blueprint over first, and then send me the interior design drawings of each room, and then it starts filling in the website. And so you see then first the DOM goes in and then all the JPEGs and all things start painting the site. I don't know WebP. That's the photo, right?
Oh,
WebP. Okay. Yeah, so they're using WebP. And it's fast to transmit, right? It only takes 283 milliseconds to transmit. And then they use, okay, what do they use? They use Google Tag Manager. So that takes a while, but you see it's not a blocking script. Oh, the difference between a blocking script and a non-blocking script. A blocking script waits for the entire script to load before it allows anything else to happen. It's called a blocking script. So if you have a blocking script, that delays everything by like a second, right? This is a non-blocking script. The script runs, but so can everything else run at the same time. So you want to avoid blocking scripts on your homepage. A blocking script will just essentially shove time out. And then, okay, I don't know what WUF2 is, PNG, JavaScript, Google Tag Manager, Booking.com logo. So the logo loads last. That's interesting. Yeah? And then some more shit. Their Google Analytics comes in at the end. Then Google Leads. Google Tag Managers, something CDN. Oh, this is from their CDN, their content distribution.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys know what CDN is? It's fucking cool. So, okay, the web works free for us, but if you are a big site like Booking.com, it's not free at all. And you gotta know this because essentially every time somebody downloads your website, you're paying them. It's really weird, but you're paying somebody to download. You're paying a CDN usually for somebody to download your website. CDNs are content distribution networks. So what happens is that let's say that the server for Booking.com is in Holland. Well, every time you ask for a page from Booking.com, the signal has to go all the way to Holland, and then the images have to come all the way over here. That takes fucking forever, right? So then what websites will do is they'll contract with Amazon or whatever, they'll get a CDN. So then the CDN essentially is syncing that Holland server's information to servers that are much closer to us, such as in Singapore or wherever else, right? So essentially the information is going to the CDN, you talk to the CDN, and then, or you talk to the server, and the server then tells the CDN, send these pictures from the Singapore server, right? Not from the home server. So essentially it downloads big images, videos, much faster than if it had to make the trip all the way from Holland. So, that's important to know because websites like Airbnb, Booking.com, they pay huge CDN bills. They pay enormous CDN bills. That's why compression is so important. If they can get a photo half the size, and their CDN bills go down by half. So you download things for free, but they pay like $1 for every gigabyte download. Yeah. So if you don't convert, if you just go on their site and just dick around and look at photos all day, they lose quite a lot of money on that.
The problem is because there are a lot of photos that
There's a lot of photos. They're compressed for a reason, and they delivered this for a reason. But they also need you to convert. So that's kind of goes into a lot of website design thinking, is how to get convert, and also how to get no casual browsers on my website, right? So things like Booking.com, they don't run ads on their site, so they don't want necessarily somebody to go to Booking.com to just search around for travel ideas, right? Unless that converts. If it converts, then it's fine. But they're not like essentially a blog. They don't want you to come here because that would be a disaster to them. If everybody came to Booking.com and just dicked around and looked on their site, looked at a bunch of videos, and they would have a huge CDN bill and no conversion. Airbnb tried to do this, and then they stopped doing it. They try to do that. They try to become like essentially a travel. Part of the thinking is if you get to the top of, so every trip begins with consideration first, right? I want to go to Paris. Okay, so then I think about the Eiffel Tower, I think about the Louvre, I start doing some research about these things. Once I'm convinced I want to go to Paris and see these things, then I start looking for a plane ticket, then I start looking for accommodations. So if you go up at the top enough, then you have a better chance of actually securing that client. What they realized was actually this was very expensive. Yeah, you're essentially hosting all these adless images and videos and whatnot, and people are consuming all this content, but they're still pretty far away from actually making a decision to book. So this is why you don't see OTAs actually in the travel sort of blogging business, right? Because travel blogging is a different kind of business altogether. It's you're trying to get traffic on, and then you're trying to sell that traffic to an OTA. We'll pay you for that. Okay. Anyways, so this is a little bit about how this is a construction site. That's the best way to put
Our
it.
website.
Yeah, this is a construction. First you gotta lay down the foundations, then you gotta lay down the concrete, then you lay down the walls, the whatever. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Okay, if you're interested in
Yeah.
mechanics. Cynthia,
Yes.
okay, the stats please.
Okay, the stat is take down by 1 point.
0.1.
The previous one is 1% point 08,
Mm-hmm.
and then now it's 1% point 07.
1.07. Okay, 1.07.
1.07.
So, worse!
This
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Right. Now, let's not forget, what do we do? So whatever we did, let's not do that again.
We reduces our
Posting frequency.
Yeah,
Posting
the
frequency.
accident to like machine.
Right. Okay. So we reduced our posting frequency and that reduced our engagement. Was there anything else that we did or didn't do that resulted in a dip in the Instagram engagement rate?
I think for my side, like, yeah, there's reduced activity,
Mm-hmm.
like from the Instagram.
Correct. So reduced activity then drives reduced engagement then. Okay, there you have it. Ba-dum. Surprise or no surprise? No surprise, right? Okay, no surprise. Okay, so, but now we've confirmed it. How much does it reduce it by?
1.7.
Yeah, well, it's almost like 23%, right? I don't know. Let's see, if we can do a quick calculation. Let's do 0.23 divided by 1.3. So 0.23 divided by 1.3. I think this is about 1.3. So I'm looking at what the difference is. So we went down to 1.07, so there's a 0.23 gap. And we started at 1.3. So basically we lost 17% from the current behavior that we have on Instagram. So okay, there it is. Not posting within a month results in a 17% drop in the engagement when you decide to repost. Ah, interesting. Does anybody have a hypothesis for why this might happen?
The first one is, yeah, since we are not posting so much, yeah, I think that's influence the engagement.
Okay, but why though? Why would not posting as often reduce the engagement?
no place to comment because one of the engagement.
You've lost
is-
narrative.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
engagement is like a comment, like, share.
Yeah.
Stuff. If they're not bringing stuff to people, we didn't bring the milk for them to eat.
Right, so there's nothing to talk about then. Okay. But wait, that's different though, right? This is engagement on the overall profile or engagement, it's like CTR, right? It's like how many people are engaging with any post that you bring up. So if you don't post as often and you post, the quality of the post is still good, why wouldn't they engage with that?
So
Yeah.
actually, I'd like to ask first, like, what is our purpose for our Instagram, like just for our like identity or our brand, or for the sales?
Ooh, okay, let's open that up. What do you think the purpose of our Instagram is? Is it for branding or is it for selling?
Yeah, because there's so many person, also many people that ask about our property on
Right.
Instagram.
Okay.
So that's why, and probably we don't have any bandwidth to reply one by one.
Yes. Okay. So, is there any comments about that?
Yeah, the things that I want to know first, what is our purpose to make Instagram?
I know what the purpose is. Does anybody else know?
Branding.
For branding. Yeah. If we take direct bookings on Instagram, how? Right? We'd have to integrate that onto Toki. Second, we'd have to collect payment. We have to think about cancellations too, right? So let's say, for example, we take a booking on Instagram. How are they going to pay us? Bank transfer, PayPal, whatever. Okay, that's fine. So we get that. Then we have a transparency issue. The owner doesn't see it. There's all this shit that happens when we get direct booking. What if they cancel? What if they don't cancel? What if, all these things become much more, what we call it, the cost of sale is very, very high. So we take a sale on Instagram. If we're a small business, it doesn't really matter, right? Any business is good. But when you're processing, let's say, 100 reservations a day, then you really got to think about, okay, I got to stop and spend 20 minutes processing this, or in 20 minutes I can process 5 regular reservations that come through the correct channel. It's really about efficiency. So Instagram is not a sales tool. It can be a sales tool for merchandise. It can be a sales tool if they put in something that's a calendar that syncs with Toki. But once again, that becomes just another lossy channel, like our almost overbooking today with the Agoda thing on Delish. It was like, did they pay yet? Oh my fucking god, if they didn't pay, they blocked like 16 nights in peak season, then we're fucked, right? So that's where the issues are. It's the trust, it's the accountability, and it's also the what happens if. So Instagram is definitely not a sales tool for us at the moment. Okay, that sort of clarify that. Yeah. Yes, when you get big, there's going to be sales coming from every direction. There's direct bookings, there's all kinds of stuff. But I think the key is to maintain focus. If you don't maintain focus, then everything starts becoming distracting, right? It's like, okay, let me do this, let me do this, let me do this. In the meantime, you got 100 people coming in through the regular door and they can't get served. So, okay, all right. Does anybody think the Instagram will be a travel portal in the future? Travel portal, like people will start booking things on Instagram. Is that likely?
It's like a reference.
It's like more really like a reference, right? It's like an information portal,
Yeah.
not necessarily. Because Instagram doesn't have a cancellation policy either. It doesn't have a trust policy. Like if you book on here and the guy screws you up. Also, it doesn't have a feedback strategy. So, quick thing. Airbnb works really, really well for this reason, because essentially the guest trip has some sort of feedback to the ranking. Google doesn't. If you put up a beautiful website, you pump a lot of ads into it, you get a first ranking, you might suck, but who's gonna know? Nobody knows. That's how a lot of products got sold in the traditional offline world. You can just take enough money, you pump out the advertising, and everyone starts buying it, and then it becomes a cultural habit. Why does everyone eat Indomie, right? Not because there's not a second better producer of instant noodles, because they essentially bought the market with all the advertising. So if people could write reviews, Indomie might not have the same sort of position that it has right now, because people could write reviews about this and another one. So essentially, you want to work on a platform that essentially has a feedback cycle associated with it. So every sort of positive review helps you get the next deal. Guests like that because it's more authentic, right? It's more transparent, and it's not just driven by, let's say, whoever has the biggest marketing spend. Which can happen on Instagram too. If you have a big marketing spend on Instagram, you can push yourself all the way to the top. Maybe that's what we can do. Spend $5,000 on Instagram and just push it all the way to the top. Yes, we do. Okay, great. So we did learn something from this. We learned that a 17% engagement drops at 30 days if we reduce our activity on Instagram. Good takeaway. All right. Okay. Next is the next meeting. Next meeting, I guess, will be on the August 2nd. August 2nd? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next meeting will be August 2nd. The next chair will be Ghani. Wait, G-H-I-J. Okay. Rizal. Yeah, Rizal. And the next secretary will be Jane. Okay. Fantastic. Cool. All right, so if that's it, then motion to adjourn the meeting. All right, thank you. All right. Yeah! Are people coming in and asking what meeting is that? What's that cool meeting?